Hello, everyone. I want to tell you a story about a woman named Rhonda. Rhonda's 40 years old. She's a 40-year-old woman who's a brilliant student and a gifted writer. If you simply read Rhonda's work, you may not believe that she just completed a 10-year prison sentence for armed robbery. One day, she learned about a theology program that took place inside of a prison. She admits today that the theology program saved her life. Today, I hope to show you why you should care that incarcerated women receive appropriate religious education. Did you know that between 1987 and 2007, a Pew study found that Georgia had the second highest rate of incarceration growth? This means that it's very likely that either one of us or someone we love is somewhat impacted by incarceration. I feel compelled to speak to all of you about this topic because of the past 3 years, I've watched my fiancée teach religious education to incarcerated women. I've been inspired by her stories, by the way, of the ways in which these women run towards wisdom and truth. To expound my argument, I will first provide some context of the specific challenges incarcerated women face. Next, I'll explain the current state of religious education for incarcerated women, which leaves much to be desired. Finally, I will articulate what I see as appropriate religious education for incarcerated women, with hopes that you all might agree and become concerned about this issue as well. Before I tell you why incarcerated women should receive appropriate religious education, I must first explain the specific challenges of incarcerated women. Incarcerated women are more likely to have experienced negative lifestyle. So, for example, incarcerated women are more likely to have experienced abuse, as you can see by the chart on the projection screen. Incarcerated women are also more likely to have experienced poverty. And thirdly, incarcerated women are more likely to have experienced addiction. 74% of incarcerated women reported drug use. Now that I've explained the specific challenges of incarcerated women, I can now argue why they would benefit from appropriate religious education. Currently, there is a lack of appropriate religious education for incarcerated women. Appropriate religious education for incarcerated women should acknowledge and be sensitive to the various social factors that have led to a woman's incarceration. While this should be the goal of appropriate religious education for incarcerated women, currently prison religious education is characterized by a lack of resources and deep engagement for wrestling with quote-unquote big enough questions. In her book, Reading is My Window, Books and Art of the Reading of Women's Prison, Megan Sweeney traces the role of reading in prison over time. She argues that while reading has often been used as a way to control and normalize behavior in the penal context, reading can also serve as a source of hope, healing, and as a lifeline for incarcerated women. Incarcerated women who are exposed to opportunities for appropriate religious education are more likely to make better choices and flourish spiritually. Although incarcerated women experience multiple social challenges, incarcerated women have the potential to bring rich gifts to the educational environment. So, together we have explored the need for appropriate religious education for incarcerated women by first understanding their specific social challenges, then by examining the negative state of religious education for incarcerated women, and then by articulating what is needed for appropriate religious education for incarcerated women. Through what I shared today, I hope that we remember Rhonda, a convicted felon who was able to experience healing and transformation through religious education that allowed her to wrestle with what is quote-unquote known as big enough questions. I understand that everyone in this class may not have the gift of teaching or be able to access a women's prison. However, I encourage each and every one of you to start caring about what happens to incarcerated women. You can research if you place your worship. You can do research in a place of worship or a civic organization you're part of as an outreach program. In conclusion, I hope that we can all start to pay more attention to lives that are often discounted as worthless. I hope that we all can help to heal more Rhondas.